I'm going to make a prediction here. I think Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill are going to have major issues this year. Nicki already kind of like alluded to this on stage where she threatened to expose Meek, okay? Like, I don't get what's going on here. Like, I usually can I can usually say like, okay, people were picking on Nicki, and in a lot of cases they were. But this is getting a little bit out of hand, I'll be honest with you. This is Jordan Tower, JT News. Hit that bell, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, okay? I like Nicki a lot, man. I saw her come up, you know. I didn't see past a certain point, but she's determined, and she turned DVDs, from coming up from DVDs, into over $100 million. I mean, that's impressive, okay? And I applaud that all day. But what's happening now is, like, you know, any rapper, any entertainer, you get to a point where you kind of plateau, and she's kind of plateaued now, and that's not a bad thing. She's plateauing on one of the top tier artists plateau, like still selling over 100,000 the first week. I mean, that's one hell of a plateau. Let's be honest, okay? Still doing fashion brands, still doing covers, okay? But, you know, it was more in the beginning up to maybe 2015, 16. You know, it was more like she was the only woman. Nobody was challenging her. Nobody brought anything to the game until, you know, Remy came home, challenged her. Cardi B got in the game. You have a lot of girl rappers now, which is good. And they all these girls always talk about uplifting each other. But once they get their spot is threatened, they have a problem with each other. It's just like guys. Guys do the same thing, okay? Guys, girls, we just notice it more with girls, but guys do the same thing. Guys are always dissing each other and this and that, okay? Well, Nicki, you know, she had Safari up to a certain point. Then, you know, Meek came in, you know, and there's a lot of rumors going around that Meek told her that Safari was cheating and all that. It was just a messy relationship, her and Meek, right? And then she talks a lot about in that relationship where she's tried weed for the first time. Meek says he was in a bad period with drugs during this time. This wasn't a healthy relationship to him. So, you know, they broke it off. They weren't good for each other, okay? It played its course. I also think that she got with Meek for those years to get back at Safari for cheating on her, right? So then Meek goes to jail. Meek has a reboot in his career. He comes home bigger than ever, okay? Kind of like a Gucci reboot, but Meek wasn't on the downturn when he went in. He was still on the up and up. He just had to go do a few months. Now he's even bigger than ever, right? So he's moving on. He's not going back there. Even in interviews, he keeps it classy and doesn't reveal too much about Nicki. He doesn't want to talk about her, right? But Nicki keeps bringing him up now, which is weird. I've never seen her really do this, okay? We've seen her and Cardi picking fights at each other for the past year. Cardi has come into the number one spot, right? She's the new girl. Everybody always wants the new, okay? It's just how it is. I don't know why, but I don't know why we're like that as humans, but that's just how we are. So, Meek, he's at home. Nicki's been picking fights with Cardi, been picking fights with other girls, picking fights with this person, that person. She even picked a fight with Travis Scott's daughter, okay? Because they were selling tickets, and you could beat the daughter at the, you know, they were doing what they had to do to move the units of the album, okay? She said that was cheating, but people have been doing that for about a year or two, right? And she still did great. She just didn't have the number one album, even though she was very stuck on being number one, right? I understand. Okay, so then Meek, he comes out, he's number one. He sells a lot of units. She, even before Meek dropped, she said Meek's still in my DMs on that song. You know, so now, you know, Meek didn't really play into it that much. I mean, he did a little bit. And then Nicki took a sub at Meek a couple weeks ago when Meek dropped Championship. She said, oh, you need all these features, you know, subliminal dish. She didn't name anybody. She said, need all these features to be top. You're lame. It's kind of sub Meek. Then recently, she's on stage. Then she got into this relationship because Safari's getting married, moving on, getting married to Erica Mena. She probably already knew that through the grapevine. Then Meek Mill's, you know, dating other women. So she's doubling down. She gets this guy from the neighborhood that she's a date. She's pulling him up. This is going to be bad. This is going to end bad, I'm telling you. Because when you pull somebody up from nothing to fame real fast, You don't know if that's genuine or not. That's why people usually date famous people, because you don't know it's genuine or not. People might be after your money, after your fame. Everybody wants to be famous. I don't care who they are. They all want the fame. Everybody's thirsty for fame, especially when they experience it a little bit. I've seen people do it, okay? They get crazy. I think then Nicki recently said, "Oh, Meek, she was on stage. She said Meek still be in my DMs." And then she goes off and says, "Oh, don't make me exposed." And then Meek went off on his thing like, "Yo, keep it classy. Don't make me get into the truth." He subbed her back, right? I don't know, man. I think that her and Meek are gonna tango this. I don't think Meek's gonna really entertain it. She did try to also paint Meek in this documentary without saying his name of being like mentally abusive, and she was in a relationship, mentally abusive. Meek responded to that and said, "Whoa, that's a narcissist right there." Anyways, this is going to be interesting. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Hit that bell, hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. Check you later.